I'm sure you guys have all seen by now, Armen Tsarukyan is out of the main event against Islam Makhachev at UFC 311. Apparently, late last night, he suffered some type of back injury. There's a lot of speculation about it right now. We don't exactly know if it was something that was due to the weight cut, possibly, or if it was pre existing and got re aggravated. We don't know. But he is out of the fight, and in steps Hanato Moicano on last minute notice, but he was on this card to fight Benil Dariush, so he had a full training camp and should be about as prepared as he could get physically. Now, this is insane, guys. My head has been absolutely rattled out all day, and I could not wait to make a video about this. Obviously, you have to favor Islam without a doubt, and this would be one of the biggest upsets of all time if Hanato can pull this off. But let's do a quick breakdown of this stylistically, right? Hanato has very, very good striking, very good grappling as well, as we saw in the Benoit Saint Denis fight. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, very good top game. Finished Benoit with ground and pound. Hanato's on a roll right now. 4-fight win streak. He looks great. This is the time for him to fight for the belt, if any. Obviously, you'd love a full camp to prepare for the pound for pound number one guy in the world, but he's 35 years old. He's not getting any younger. The time for him to fight for the belt is now, if that was to ever happen. Is it in very random circumstances? Yes, but in the UFC, it's next man up, and these guys are prepared at all times. And I think Hanato is the best guy for the job. I'm glad the UFC did not try to pull any random fighters out of the hat and have like a Volk Islam 2 situation. I'm glad they didn't call up Ilia Topuria. I'm glad they didn't throw Charles in there last minute. Hanato had a full camp and is the most prepared guy on a 4-fight win streak to fight for the title. So I think they made the right move. Um, yeah, there's just so many things going through my head. I'm happy Islam took the fight because obviously he's not obligated to take the fight. Um, they're gonna give Benil probably his show and win money and reschedule him soon for them taking his opponent from him, and obviously he's not gonna get to fight. What else? I mean, this happened late last night, so the UFC was kind of prepared for it this morning. Hanato knew that he needed to make 155, and thankfully he did that so that we have a world title fight and not just a fight without the belt on the line. But hopefully Arman can get back and fight for the belt eventually. I know the UFC, they don't love these last minute situations of guys pulling out of main events, but what are you going to do if you really could not fight? And you cannot fight. And they have a guy stepping in there on last minute's notice. Money Moicano. He is also an ATT fighter, so I'm sure he was one of the first people to know as well that this was a possible situation because they have some of the same coaches, him and Armin. Um, yeah, the main event, Hanato Moicano and Islam Makhachev. Maybe you got to throw some money down on Money Moicano to pull off the upset. I got to see those odds. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I'm still very excited for this main event. Um, like I said, the fact that Hanato had a full camp going into this fight, yes, he wasn't specifically training for Islam, but he is still in great shape, as good a shape as he's going to be in, and he is on a roll with a lot of momentum. So this isn't like them just pulling a rabbit out of the hat. You know, this is a guy who was prepared to fight on that same night and is looking very good as of late. So I think this is best case scenario for the UFC as far as someone they could have picked to be in this situation. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of storylines that are interrupted right now. We thought this was kind of possibly going to be the crowning of Islam, maybe taking over Habib as the best lightweight of all time. Was he going to surpass Habib with a win over Arman? Now that's probably going to be put to a halt depending on how Hanato looks. But this is a win-win really. If you're a Moicano, if you're in the Moicano camp, Because let's say he goes in there and gets run over, that's what people are probably thinking was going to happen in the first place. Let's say he goes in there and puts up a very good fight against Islam and gives a good account of himself. I'm fucking stumbling over my words because I'm so excited and I've wanted to talk about this all day. Let's say he gives a good account of himself. That's a win and his stock is going to rise crazy. Let's say he goes in there and pulls this shit off somehow. What better scenario is there than that for him? But this is the best way it could have played out for the UFC. The fight is going to go on just with a new challenger. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think down below. This is massive. Unfortunate, but still exciting nonetheless. Let me know what you think. So, catch you guys in the next one.